right. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us at another Cold Wind Talk. I'm Darren Aquino, and that's my dog in the background, and he wants to be part of the show. You all know Johnny Pizza, and you all know Joe. We're on first name here, but for this purpose, our special guest again today, because the subject matter is veteran injustice. You know, Johnny Pizza is a combat Vietnam heroic war veteran who has the Purple Heart and Silver Star. And by the time we're all said and done, it's my hope and prayer that he gets the Congressional Medal of Honor because he's one of the most courageous men I know. One of, Chris is another one, and all our veterans who sacrifice and are ready to sacrifice. And this is an important message. And Sean, who will be on, who is there we go, we're better than, is our first executive producer, and that's all technical, which you get to see us. And Sean's going to come on next week. He had a rough day, but he's listening in to make sure that our message gets to all of you. So welcome, everybody, to Cold Wind Talk. We all know Joe the Cop. We're going to call him Joe the Cop. We're going to call him Joe the Cop. Okay, just like we call him Johnny Pizza, and we all know my nickname because John gave it to me. What is it, John?
Cricket.
There you go. And then we have Shannon. Okay, we have our lovely Shannon, our Madam Chief. We're going to call her Madam Chief because she's the only woman in the forum, so we will address her as Madam Chief. And she is the wife of a veteran, a naval veteran. Everybody here has suffered some discrimination. And thanks to our executive producer, Sean, who we're going to have also Dougie Fresh and Paul Prince. They are all part of the technical and part of what this program is. It's about us as Americans having a true platform. You've heard Newsmax, you've heard Fox 5, you heard CNN, and we know what we could do with those networks. They talk a lot of caca. We don't talk caca here. Only truth. Truth, justice, liberty for all is what we are going to prove and what we fight for. Justice is for all, not for some. And what we've seen in discrimination towards our veterans, John will tell you, a Vietnam veteran, but Chris LaMarche are still enlisted, still because they fail to give him the due process he was entitled, which would have severed him, but instead caused him harm and an automobile injury by FedEx, who hit and left the scene of the crime. FedEx, we will get you. We will find you. We will find that driver. We will ask everyone to surrender this driver. He is a criminal. He hit a United States veteran en route to Virginia, right? Chris, you were en route to Virginia?
To North Carolina.
North Carolina from Jersey?
Yes.
Okay. He was hit and run by a FedEx driver. So anybody who knows a FedEx driver, and what date was that, Chris?
September 17th.
September
2020.
2020, September 17th. Wow, what a good month. That's my birthday month, my wife's birthday month, my daughters, my sisters, and Shannon's.
And John's.
And John.
And John.
Right.
Same day as you, don't you remember?
That's right. That's right. We are all Virgos. Okay. So that being said,
That's dangerous.
that is dangerous. We are dangerous because, but here's the greatness of it. All Virgos are perfectionists. Whatever we do the best. There is nobody above us, and we don't make mistakes.
Unless there's Leos around, I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta watch out for Leos.
My mom would say that.
And those Capricorns.
Yeah, the Capricorns too.
Because they turn into unicorns. So,
are you a
Chuck,
Capricorn?
have a light here.
I'm a Capricorn.
Are you? Well, that explains it.
I want to tell you, my birthday is the day before Christmas Eve, my 23rd of December. So I lose out because all my gifts and everything come at the same time.
I had a friend that had the same issue, that he got cheated for Christmas gifts. I thought, well, that's the breaks.
What about you, Chris? What's your birthday, Chris?
June 4th.
Oh, June. Okay.
Oh, happy birthday! You just had a birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. My son Brendan had his on the 20th. Okay, so let me. We go off topic all the time. To everybody out there, on September 17th, 2020. On what highway were you, Chris, if you can remember? 95? Were you on 95?
I-95 South.
What do we have video footage? Did anybody get video footage? The ex-lawyer who's needs not to be mentioned, other than he's a piece of garbage lawyer, because what time of the day it was? Do you remember when you were left on the side of the road after being hit and ran by a FedEx truck? A FedEx truck.
Round about 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Okay. So listen up, everybody. Christopher LaMarche on September 17th at 9 p.m. on I-95, heading towards the Carolinas, was hit and struck, and then left the scene was a FedEx truck. Hit a veteran, an active service duty veteran who has 36 commendations defending the freedoms that we embrace every day. I don't take that lightly. It's with the highest regard. That again, let me just say again, thank you, John, and thank you, Chris, for your service. And to Shannon's husband, thank you. I am grateful for the freedom that you provide for me every single day, and for that dedicated time in service. You were wounded in your service by enemy explosives in Afghanistan. John was hit by enemy fire in Vietnam, because Americans are hated around the world by many people, and we have many allies. And we're grateful to our allies in our struggle for peace. So we want to thank everybody, and always we want to thank our production crew, because without our Sean and Dougie and Paul and the many people that are going to come on and be part of this Code Win Talk, there's going to be contributors here. Joe is going to be a regular here from the law enforcement and former NYPD. Vital to procedures that we may have a question on an arrest, what the law says, and it varies from state to state, but hopefully he'll be the sheriff out here in Florida, if that goes well, and then he'll be a constant contributor from a different state. We're all around. Everybody is talking from a different state, except me and Joe.
Yeah.
Me and Joe are the Floridians. Thank you all for that. So as we get on with the show again, I want to thank our men and women and our law enforcement out there listening. We are grateful for your service. And if I become the congressman after the federal case, make no mistake, there will be no defunding, but there will be an increase of funding together with training to explore other areas for prevention of lawsuits and violations of civil rights of mentally ill who are disabled, because cops are trained to protect and serve against criminals. A mentally disturbed person is not a criminal. He's a sick individual. Cops are not doctors. They arrive at the scene to maintain peace and order. It's very challenging to bestow upon a police officer such a challenging area of expertise if you're not a doctor. You can't make a crime scene out of a mentally ill person and expect a cop who is neither doctor or a psychiatrist or expert of mental illness to deal with it in a manner that could have a good outcome. It's just very challenging. But with police advocates for disabled, once upon a time, back in the early 2000s, had back in early 2000, when President Bush was in, how to approach mentally ill in a more productive manner, where the police would not be sued, but they would be a genuine asset, having understanding, not going outside the scope of their actual occupation. Because, a police officer doesn't need an added burden. It's challenging enough chasing hardened criminals and murderers. To take care of the sick is the responsibility of the state to put in place more productive laws under the ADA. As we go forward as a family, our new family, and all of us as a family here, we are the family of Code Win Talk. We will bring to you updates on law, on your rights. Joe will be a supporter, and soon we'll have Sharon Silverstein will come in, and then we're going to have other lawyers. We're going to get more. God is blessing us. And we're just so appreciative to have the freedom. And this freedom here at Code Wind Talk, is freedom for you, the listener, for you, the lawyer, for you. We will allow, listen to me, I just want to make this clear. None of the opinions, and all rights reserved, none of the opinions expressed here is the absolute opinion of the show. It's our right of our First Amendment to express what we feel. It may sound heated when we're saying it because of our belief, but everybody here is friend. So we may get into a controversy of the belief, but at the end of the day, we're not arguing with each other. We're arguing the issue. The issues that we speak about are for everyone to express their First Amendment. So we don't want anybody to be intimidated. We don't want anybody to think we're prejudiced in any way. If you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, independent, Catholic, Jewish, Muslim, doesn't matter. If you got something to say that does not present a threat to anyone in the audience or any of the members of this broadcast, you are welcome to share whatever challenge that you're facing, because that's what this is. This is the people. This is Code Wind Talk. It's code for the truth. That's what it is. We're calling code Wind Talk. What does that mean to all media outlets? We are telling the truth. And that's the code from all of us. We're telling the truth. So, because our new, she's officially a member of this, and she's also a assistant chief advocate with ADA, and she is a woman, so we call her Madam Chief. And we will let her start off with her first questions and concerns and her expressions. So today we're going to let it's ladies first, and we're all gentlemen. So, Madam Chief, Shannon, the show is in your hands right now. We yield to Shannon. Go ahead.
Well, Chris, I've thought a lot about you and was wondering how things are going. And my main question and concern is where your case and situation is at this time.
Basically, my care has been disrupted by my command.
Interrupted. Your care was interrupted?
Yes. Because they keep like canceling appointments and things like that. So it's delaying my care, and it's like I'm stuck in a circle where I can't really get a lot of production.
If I may, Madam Chief, there is a new recent letter received, correct, Chris? A new letter, a new threatening letter from, is your wife present?
Yes.
Is she with us?
Yes.
Hello, Mrs. LaMarche.
I like the flag behind you too, Chris.
Thank you.
I liked how he defended it.
That's it. That's the key.
I
That's the main
appreciate
part.
how you defended it.
I have a question for Chris. Chris, I got a question for you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Before we were talking about the accident you had on Interstate 95, traveling south, right? And the FedEx driver hit you. Were you in the vehicle or were you out of the vehicle when you were struck?
That was my question.
That's a good question.
I was in a vehicle.
Okay. And
You want to tell us what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was driving down in 95 South, and I think it was 3 lanes, and I was in the middle, and then a truck passed me on the left side, but before it can go all the way past me, it came into my lane. So the back of the 18-wheeler struck the front
Wow.
of my vehicle, and then I went swishy-swashy all over the place.
Wow. Wow, that's scary.
you were alone? You were alone in it, your car?
Yes. Yes.
So it was you're going probably at highway speed 65 or something like that at the time, and
On that highway, you're going at least 70, 75, 80 miles.
At
The speed
least.
limit's 70 miles an hour down there.
Yeah.
wow. And so you couldn't get it on video, and maybe he didn't even know necessarily that he hit you.
I don't know if they know or not. I just know I was left for dead, and I was lucky enough to still be here
What were
today.
you driving exactly? What
It
were
was
you driving exactly?
a Nissan Sentra.
Mm.
How old was the car?
Yeah.
There's a reason why I'm asking that.
I think it was a 2019 car.
Okay, they have what they call similar to a plane, black box, red box, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it. Big
good
thing.
idea.
It actually monitors your driving and everything else, and has sensors to it. A 2019 car has sensors to it that actually will be able to, and most of those cars might even have video hooked into it, which means you might actually have a video of what happened, a recording of what happened. I would check into that and the GPS reading. So you have all that as evidence. See, that's the cop in me.
That's right. That's why we have Joe the cop here on Code Wind Talk.
So
That was
thanks for
something
listening.
interesting I've never known. I didn't know that in here. You know, I've been so wrapped up with the advocacy and the cases surrounding us with the voter fraud and voter suppression of disabled voters. You know,
Do you still have, oh, sorry. Do
Go
you
ahead.
still have the vehicle, access to the vehicle?
where is the vehicle, Chris? That was a rental, right?
Yes, it was a rental vehicle.
They actually have records and all that. So, and identification numbers and all that, plus insurance reasons.
It had to be
And because of
identified
that, I get all that information.
Okay, so if he hit you with a semi, an 18-wheeler, you said? See, all this time I was on the impression that it was a small FedEx truck. If he hit you with a semi,
Yeah,
I was under that impression as well, that it
I
was
was too.
like that.
That's why I asked you about the
food
condition.
truck. I thought it was like,
he hit you. If he pulled out in front of you, you got 53 feet of trailer over there. You know what I'm saying? And he pulled out and he hit you with the rear end of his trailer. He might not even know he hit you. That's
That's
very
what I was-
possible.
That's what I was saying.
And did he stop or he kept on going?
No, he didn't stop.
No,
I'm
he
saying-
wouldn't know. He probably didn't know that they
He
hit you.
probably didn't know.
maybe.
That's
I
what
would
I'm
say maybe. I wouldn't say with absolute certainty,
Right.
because there's got to be some sort of reaction to the cab if the back hits. That's a moving vehicle.
It's a
And gotta
possibility,
have
though.
some effect. I mean,
It
I'm
might be
no.
damage to the back. Maybe damage to the back of the truck. And the truck
How
might have.
much damage? Well, hold on. How much damage was to the car? And was there screeching? Because maybe he didn't feel it, but surely you can hear it.
He had to see it out of his rear window,
Yeah,
his rear mirror.
That's
I
true, because he should be watching, because he's got 53 feet of truck, like Johnny
Right.
Pizza said. So I would have to say that that's very good. Joe the cop forgot that.
My wife had that too, you know. What,
I don't know. Who's the real cop of the family, Joe?
oh. She actually,
I'm just a land shark.
yeah, she's the answer.
Hey, Christopher, Chris,
yeah.
was there a lot of traffic there at that time?
No, not that I remember. No.
Okay,
Where
so
approximately?
remember seeing other semi, because sometimes semis
It's
they're
not
full.
a horror.
Well, the thing that
Yeah, but this is Jersey, I mean.
excuse
This
me.
happened in Jersey or on outside Jersey?
It was in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
Okay, so the incident took place in Richmond, but you were crossing lines. The vehicle belonged to Jersey. You were traveling from Jersey, and you were a resident of Jersey at that time, right?
Yes.
Okay, because that matters for.
Wait a minute. You're getting something confused here. If he was traveling to Jersey, he'd be traveling north.
No, he was traveling
Probably
to the
from
Carolinas.
Jersey.
I'm just allocating where he was because of legal matters. Does he sue from the state of Jersey? Does he sue Richmond, Virginia, the state of Virginia, because they offered no safety on the road for him? Because there's a lot of things here.
How about suing it? It's an interstate highway, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's
Federal government.
That's the federal government. I-95 is owned by the federal government. That's correct.
And he needs to sue the automobile person who rented it to him, because basically back then, there should have been the controls in it for the car to have stopped or done something.
Well, I don't know what ought to. We have to explore the Nissan, deeper into the Nissan that he was rented. Who rented the car to you, Chris? Was it Enterprise or somebody?
I don't remember.
You have to have a receipt.
Do you have an accident
Did you put
report?
it on a credit card?
Yeah, I have the
It was a government credit card.
Okay, do you, well, that's.
There has to be a record of it. There always are cards.
I think it was Enterprise.
Yeah, more than likely, because a lot of I know that just my own experience. My car I purchased from Enterprise, but my main concern is highway safety regulations. Were there cameras to photograph it? Were there highway cameras in the event of that? And the other concerns were, as we have talked logistically, and we're going to get into more of this. Welcome, everybody. We're coming to you live from Code Wind Talk, the People's Network. And we're talking with Chris LaMarche, a disabled Army veteran, 14 years of service, 36 commendations, who's being deprived his benefits and being interfered with some of the superior officers who failed to follow chain of command and filing documents, perhaps because of his cultural background and his religious beliefs. I am the National Chief Advocate for Disabled and your host. And together we have Joe the Cop, former NYPD, Johnny Pizza, Vietnam veteran, war veteran, and we have Shannon out of Kentucky, our Assistant Chief Advocate for Disabled and our legal researcher and commentator. And welcome if you're just coming in and we're talking about the accident, the hit and run. Well, he didn't stay, so he did leave the scene of a crime, giving FedEx. Okay. Oh, when I'm talking, please don't, so people can hear. So it's important that we don't want to cast the blame, but here's what we do know. He left the scene. Okay. Maybe he didn't feel it because of John Pizza pointed out something really good. Maybe he didn't, but we're giving that statement now that this happened at approximately 9:50 p.m., 9 p.m. on I-95 in Richmond, Virginia, that it was, what do you call that truck again, John?
Semi
A semi-trailer that hit a Nissan. What color was the Nissan, Chris? Do you remember?
Blue.
Excuse me?
Blue.
A blue Nissan, 2019, on I-95. If you were driving that semi and you're a FedEx employee, and you still have that truck and the trailer portion is part of the semi, because sometimes you hitch a trailer and it's somebody else's, and if it's yours, you need to go to the back of that trailer because it's less than a year ago, and this veteran, this 14-year veteran who's debilitated, far worse from that, who should have been 7 in 2016, which is another portion, we're asking you to come forward. We are asking you to come forward because clearly you'll have some blue paint on the back of that trailer, and then it would be you. And if you know this now, and you don't come forward, then you are a criminal. Now we're giving you an opportunity to check your vehicle, it's possible that you didn't realize it. It is possible based on, highway, but we're also.
In 2019, Nissan had the start-stop technology in their automobiles.
In other words, in 2019
If it wasn't working, then the vehicle company, sure. But we don't, but we would have to rely on highway footage to see how it was. We have to rely best on that.
Yeah, but how would that help him in that situation? If his car automatically stopped, the truck came into him.
Yeah, it's probably
help.
going to help him.
Car might have.
It might know if it's automatic.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
What you might happen there is a video of the whole situation, because if it has that stop and start thing,
Well, highway.
go in there.
The highway should be maintaining cameras for the act. We've seen it on many crimes and police chases, how they get the footage. So I want that footage. Joe, maybe you could look into that. Joe,
I'll look into it.
Look into it. We know the date, we know the time, and perhaps through some.
We'll look into it. It's on a federal level for more than anything else, because they control I-95. But I will get my contacts to see what we can find.
Let's see what we can get on that.
Time would be great.
Let's see what we can get on that. And now, Chris, let's talk about the letter so Shannon can hear this, because we're going to respond, and Shannon is going to start signing off on some things because she's very adamant on her constitutional stance for Americans with disabilities and the abuse that they suffer. And I told her, you're going to sign off on this letter for this veteran, because she's a veteran family, and here we're a veteran family. So she's going to come out with the first aggressive response in this attack by this asshole, the captain. So I'd like it if your wife wants to read the letter. She doesn't want to come on camera, that's fine. But I want her to read it so everybody could hear the threat that was presented, which we all know, all of us know, that he's not missing, telling her to present him to us as if he's a runaway criminal. And I want to hear that. And so please, everybody, no background talking, so that Chris's wife can read the letter, because the content of this letter is going to piss everybody off. All you listeners, all you supporters, and all of our executive and producers, pay close attention to this letter, because Dougie Fresh, our other producer, is also a naval disabled veteran. Okay? So, and then we'll talk about the event. But today, our ears are open for you, Chris. We have everybody here, and soon you'll be contacted by somebody else. But let's get to that letter, the last letter of response. I guess that came after my text to his cell phone, where I told him that he was an asshole, and he's interfering with his civil rights, that they were demanding Chris to come from Oklahoma in his debilitated state to be assessed in Jersey, which is a Title II violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act, demanding him to be serviced there and inconvenience him in a debilitated state, instead of bringing him a convenient one in the state in which he's being taken care of by his wife. This accident and condition forced him to be in the care of his wife and suffer retaliations from the Army's. I won't say the Army did it, because the Army is not structured that way, but the officers or the battalion commanders or his immediate leadership for his group. I don't know all the specifics there, but we have Nikki who addressed that, and she's working diligently. I know she's sending stuff, and my wife is communicating all of this. We're copying Shannon, because Shannon helps me with my wife articulate my thought pattern and my legal strategies to defend disabled Americans nationwide. But we're focused on your case. Is she ready to read the letter?
Yes.
Okay, let us begin.
On June 9th, 2021, dear Mrs. LaMarche, I regret to inform you that your husband, Sergeant Christopher LaMarche, has been absent without leave from this unit since 9 June 2021. Your husband's absence could result in a trial by court martials with loss of pay and allowances, which could mean that his dependents will lose all rights to receive allotments, Medicare, commissary, and post-exchange privileges, and other military benefits. Continued absence could also result in confinement or dismissal with an other than honorable discharge. If you know where he is, please urge him to return immediately to military control at the nearest military installation in order to avoid serious consequences or prolonged unauthorized absence. Rest assured that he will be given a fair hearing and the opportunity to present any information on his behalf. Sincerely, James Clark.
James, what's the rank of this moron that wrote this letter? Who knows where he is?
The Major.
Okay, and he said, did he say nearest or did he say Jersey?
The nearest military.
Okay, but wait a second. Now, didn't you go to the other facility over there in Oklahoma and they told you they want you to go back to Jersey?
I made him an appointment with the military facility here in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I had the appointment set up and ready to go. And the day before the appointment, they called me and said that that would not be happening. It was canceled and he needs to be at 4 days.
Okay, so we have the date of that. So he was going to the nearest facility. Everybody heard this and they canceled it.
Right.
Heard it here live. You heard it. They canceled it. That sounds like a conspiracy within ranks to cover up some wrongdoing. That's what that sounds like to me. He went to go report to a medical portion of the facility. And this is the same person, Mrs. LaMarche, that already knows that the car accident. This is the same officer who threatened his wife. Let us be clear. A military army member threatened the wife of this honorable soldier right here. This soldier right here. And you're a sergeant rank, right, Chris? You're a sergeant?
Yeah, yes.
Sergeant. Well, Sergeant, that's the same one that was texting your wife, correct?
Yes.
Same one, threatening her. Does he not know where you are? Is he making a false statement where he is? Does he not know that you're there? He knows that I know where you are. And we all know where you are. He made a false statement in that letter. As an officer of the United States government. That's what he did. Now, I wish our expert lawyer was here, and I wish he can come in. I wish you could join this conversation because it's just horrifying. Call me as soon as you can. That was our prospective new chief counsel, Sharon Silverstein. She is a New York attorney. We have other members that do different levels, but she wants to put a federal attorney friend, and we've had a discussion about numerous areas of ADA for our counsel, because there are so many different levels of ADA discrimination. But yeah. Who would ever think that the Army's own officers would brutalize or retaliate against a disabled fellow soldier, right? What's a better word for it? There is no better word for it. It's a sad fact that is more than disgraceful. It's criminal to the point of it's not fault. It's a willful criminal act. Shannon, what's that? Willful
and wanton.
Right. There you go. That's my Shannon, keeping my thought, Madam Chief. Thank you for that. Willful and wanton.
Those are the legal magic words.
Okay. I willfully want to put my foot up his ass. That's what I willfully want to do. I'm willfully wanting to do that.
Wanting to do it.
I'm wanting to do it. I want to do it now. Here, let me. This is what I'm gonna do, like that, like that. Are you watching there, Major? Okay, I'm gonna bitch slap you when I get you.
Put the point first, goes up power.
That's right. You are a disgrace to this country. You cast a cloud over one of our greatest branches of service to country, the United States Army. All branches are just as honorable, some special in all of their techniques for the purpose of safety here in America. Let me make it crystal clear from every member here. This is our opinion, because we do have an opinion as citizens, and we are all against you for what you're doing to this veteran. You will eat shit when I'm done with you, and I will hold the spoon. Here, wait. Maybe if you're lucky, I'll give you a fork. But right now, fuck you. Okay? That's what I say to you, Major. I'm going to strip you. We'll bring you down to Buck Private. Buck Private. The Buckeye State. We're going to send you to Buckeye State, Buck Private, or we'll send you to prison where they want to see the Buckeye. That's where you belong. That's where you belong for what you did to this honorable soldier. I don't know if you don't like him because he's Puerto Rican. I don't know if you don't like him because he practices Muslim religion, but I will find out, because the one thing that I do and all of our members is we are good at what we do, being Americans, law-abiding Americans that uphold justice for each other and for those that we defend, the American people. This platform is about that. And we all see the injustice done to Christopher LaMarche, Sergeant Christopher LaMarche, 14 years, 36 commendations. Barely you hear people get 2 or 3. He's got 36. 3, 6, count. Can you count, Major? Can you count? That could be the question that we could ask you as a moron, Major. I don't know how you got that rank. Do you wear knee pads? I don't know. Who did you see drop to your knees to get that major rank? Because let me tell you, yeah, I'm being vulgar, because what you did to him is abusive. This is a man who has put his life, was blown up by enemy bomb, what do they call that thing that blew you up?
IAD.
Mortar round.
Oh,
A mortar round. From terrorist. He was attacked by terrorists in a fight for freedom and liberty as an American soldier. And yes, we'll call you shortly. Lawyer's going to call shortly. She's going to call shortly. And that's Sharon Silverstein. So if everybody was offended by the way I addressed that, imagine my anger for what they're doing to our veterans. He's one of millions of veterans who are being disrespected. But they're praised for their love and service to country. But the second they become debilitated, they're kicked to the wayside. I'm telling you that firsthand. Every statement we make here is true. There are no lies here. This is not fake media. This is code wind talk. The truth. Go ahead, say that, Joe.
Every 22 veterans commit suicide. Yeah.
22 every day. I told the story because Chris allowed me to tell this story. Shannon, you missed that show where me and all of us on there were very, very tearful, because it was very challenging to hear the distress. I know. I have to call you back. We're doing a live show, and I'm on the show, and everybody's listening to me talk to you. So as soon as I'm done, I will call you. Okay? You got it, buddy. As you can see, I'm always a busy guy. Those are people around the country having challenges with disabilities and struggles. But let me just say, I hope I don't offend anybody with my truth or my demeanor, because the more I hear the stories, the meaner I get. The more I hear the assaults on our disabled. Yes, I will call you shortly. I got that. The more I hear, and Joe knows, Joe the cop, Johnny Pizza, and Shannon, and Madam Chief, We all know what injustice is about. They cuffed a woman for trespassing while she was with her veteran husband going to practice her Second Amendment right. And they went in as a couple. Only one of them was a trespasser because she was a female with a disability. She got cuffed and was shuffled away into a jail cell that was infected with a cop who didn't wear a mask. He's a disgrace as a cop, for one, okay? He should have asked her the questions. I mean, Joe, he should have came over and said, what happened here? Tell me your version. Hi, sir, what do you do? What's your occupation? Oh, I'm a veteran. You're a veteran. Okay, let me give you some credibility for that. Tell me what happened, ma'am. Okay, but that didn't happen. There was nepotism where he figured, screw this woman, screw this husband and wife. This guy's my friend. Frigate, let's just say she's trespassing. He approaches in the store, approaches while she's at the counter, not telling them they're calling the cops saying she refused to leave. She didn't refuse to leave, and she was arrested for trespassing while she was waiting at the counter for a decision if they were going to let her in without the mask, because she has a condition where she can't wear the mask. And they decided, and the cop said, ha ha, whispered in her ear and laughed. That's not a cop, that's an asshole. And we're going to fix him. He needs to be suspended. And when I'm done with him, he will be. He should have, and then he whispers in her ear, this is not about a mask. Really? The 911 call said it. And I'm briefing, just paraphrasing in here, for about injustice. The injustice that's going on around us. And here you got Joe the cop, who'll agree. He'll tell you, we're watching another guy, injustice. It's everywhere. That's a systemic problem of injustice. But what's really troubling, to take it out, having the opportunity, Shannon was at our event. John was with her. John got to meet her. She's a wonderful mom, an amazing friend, and a patriot to this country. And, you know, she takes on things to help me. She sees what she admires so much I do. She offers us help. And my work is very burdensome, as she pointed out. I'm teasing, but she jumps in and she does it. I don't have to ask her. She volunteers while she's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. She's got young kids, and young kids are demanding. I got to meet her oldest daughter, who likes to cook. She's an American mom. She's an American mom. She's an American mom who's advocating for Americans and civil liberties. And she was a victim. And it's more disheartening to find out a cop did this, knowing the husband's a veteran, over a mask. Instead of giving her, she did not refuse to leave. She wasn't presented. They presented alliance. The cop doesn't make it clear. He should have said, okay, I'm going to arrest you for not wearing a mask. Okay, did you leave? He approaches, comes in, sees her at the counter talking. She has no idea they're coming. They invited her in. And I was going over this with Shannon as an expert advocate, a lay expert. No, this is what matters. When he arrives to the scene, and Joan will tell you, what did he see when he arrived at the scene? Did he come in with his gun drawn? Was there a hostile situation going on? Was there threatening, yelling, arguing? What led to the arrest of trespassing? Did they ask you to leave in the present? The cop could have said, okay, he wants you to leave, so you have to leave now. Okay, I leave. No, he arrested her for trespassing. That court is not over. We are going to sue federally, and I'm going to draft these papers with Shannon, which from all the things, I got to make a public apology because then she'll be my friend again. That I'm sorry we didn't get to do it all already because we were tied up. She was tied up helping me get all these things together and reviewing other stuff. So we should have prepared the portion for the store, the gun range. They are going to get sued for ADA violations. The police are going to get sued, not the police officer in his official capacity. And we will, one of the part of the settlement we'll accept is a reprimand and a dismissal. You know, a reprimand without pay. He may have a family, but he needs to know that his duty and service is vital to the confidence of the American people in any state, because he cast a cloud over law enforcement. That stupid behavior over something as ridiculous as the store owner charging. It's the charge. Her circumstance wasn't ridiculous. Her circumstance was medical. She can't wear a mask. So tell me to leave. And she will. She wasn't given that opportunity. She was more concerned about all of these other things. No, I told her, that's not the issue here. The cop didn't observe anything hostile. In fact, he should have came around, he should have got a desk appearance ticket. They put her in a jail cell. He wasn't himself wearing a mask. A 911 call brought over, yelling, screaming, ranting. When I ask him on the stand as the advocate helper, he's not going to have that answer. And then I'm going to demean him. And I'm going to chastise him. And I'm going to pretty much bitch slap him while he's sitting there. Because I come from the family of law enforcement and military as well. And I know what the protocol is. And what he done was for his friend, look like a all right, I'll fix this for you. So he can maybe get some free use at the gun range where all the cops train. What they don't know, and I was telling John, and Shannon didn't understand why I was doing it, but I got the trainer on the phone. Right, John? Did I get him? Did I corner our witness? Do you hear me, Shannon?
Oh, I thought you said John.
No, I said, and I cornered our witness,
Yeah.
Marlon, right?
I was like, how did John get involved in this?
No, I'm telling them. What did I do to our witness? Did I get our witness? Did I
Yeah.
corner him? Huh? She couldn't figure out what I was doing until after it was done. But I nailed him down to saying, John, I said, Marlon, don't make me come there. Marlon, I want your word. I'm going to ask for you because I don't want to get arrested for not wearing a mask like that woman. He says, I know. I heard about that. I said, you heard about that? You see, I don't want to get arrested like her. I want you to remember my name, Marlon. My name is Darren Aquino. You're going to remember my name? Yeah, you just come and see me. I'm going to come and see you because I can't wear a mask. I'm a 9/11 survivor. So you don't want, you're going to take, don't worry, man. I got you. You come and see me. He don't know I was setting him up to be the witness that I needed him to be by asking him the simple truth. I heard about that woman who got arrested for the mask. And the cop said, now it's not about the mask. Now it's about trespassing. It could only be trespassing if they ask her to leave and she says no. And even that's questionable. You understand? Because she could have property there. Something of hers can be there. In this case, her property was there. It was called husband. They were in there together. She's arrested for trespassing. And then the cop says, let me have her bag. He takes it and he's going through her bag. Illegal search.
Illegal search.
Okay? Joe the cop is telling you. So, Madam Chief, I'm going to eat
They
him
didn't
for...
have an arrest warrant either.
No, he made it up at the scene, is what he did. In his little podunk town, he made up at the scene what he was going to do for his friend, so maybe he gets a free box of bullets. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know
You
what
said
it...
he arrested me for trespassing. You can't even arrest someone for
You
trespassing.
have to be trespassing. But when
They had to make up 2 misdemeanor charges. But I appreciate you going over my case, but I was also curious about what's happening with Chris's at this point.
But you see, due process. Chris is not, that's why it matters. See, you're missing it again. Due process. He didn't get due process. You didn't get due process. You were accused of something. The letter that she read was an allegation that he's hiding. Here he is. He's not hiding. We all know he's not. That's my point, Shannon. You were accused of something.
Hiding on the show.
Say again, Joe?
He cannot be hiding if he's on the show.
That's right. And the officer communicates with the wife. And they text. He's calling it that to make you believe. That is subterfuge. That's fraudulent.
There's that similarity in mine as well. They made the appearance that I'm a bad criminal by piling on these other.
That's the point I was making. That's the point I was making. So we had to give that detail. He shows up. The cop knows. When he shows up, where's the emergency? There's no emergency here. There's a woman talking to the manager at the counter. There's no emergency for him. He's not missing. He's at a hospital. He was at a doctor's visit. Now, because of that letter, another officer canceled his medical visit. Now, what do we have? A violation of medical necessity. He was denied medical assistance. Now they have another problem. You see how each part of the law, and what I want to show everybody about advocacy, not only is he being demanded to come someplace, but because the other guy is complicit with it, they're going to try and show administrative duties. What about his right to medical treatment? In his crisis, they denied him. Now they have another problem because he is disabled. He should have been severed in 2016. So everything that happened after that is their fault, and they can be sued, even though law is controversial. But that's if he's an active member. He shouldn't have been active from the first because the doctor said so. Their doctor said so, and we have the evidence. So you see, just like you have medical evidence. You were not asked to leave, but you were charged. But you were not asked to leave. So how can you be a trespasser? You wasn't asked to leave. The cops just said, all right, let me straighten this out. Joe would have did like this. All right, look. They don't want, this is what me or Joe would have said to you. Look, they have this mask policy. Just leave, put it aside, come back another day. Otherwise, I'm going to have to arrest you for trespassing because he's telling you. So will you leave? Okay, I'll leave. Shannon would have did. He didn't do that. That's what should have been done.
Exactly.
That's what should have been done. Right, Joe?
That's protocol.
There you go.
But they
You heard
should,
it.
I mean, but they should know that you can't trespass somebody for
Where
ADA
Shannon, where was this actually taking place? What state?
in Kentucky.
In good old Kentucky.
All right. You got a governor right now, if I believe it's right, it's an ultra left winger. He is forcing people to wear masks.
But he did give an exemption.
They're trying to lock you down again.
He did give an exemption, but they didn't give it to Shannon because she is a woman.
Yeah, yes, but the cops in that area are now, because of all this stuff, they probably on some kind of foreign quota system of some sort. They are being forced because of their jobs to violate the Constitution by arresting.
But he didn't. But let me answer that, Joe. He didn't have a mask on either when he.
I understand that.
So
we have a great governor down here, and all those that have been arrested by for not wearing the mask.
He's got some fault. I know. He put the he waived it because he don't want to get sued. That's why. He's a good guy. My cousin gave him thousands and thousands for his campaign. He's a decent guy. But politics is politics.
Right.
Civil rights is a sovereign right. These guardians, governor is a governor of the laws of the land. He's supposed to govern them. Our sovereign right of the freedom and protection. The ADA is a protection so that you can embrace the rest of the Constitution because your disability has limited you full access to it because of the life limitation.
And that's why you and this show and others are in demand right now, because that right is being violated.
That is correct. That is correct.
And that's where this show and everything comes into effect.
That's right.
What's happened to Chris, what's happened to Shannon, and to Ron and others, and to even Gail and her secretary.
And me too. And me too. My right to have a disabled person vote for me was denied access, which would have made me overwhelming winner. Overwhelming. They said
so
no.
We all know.
The commissioner said no.
We all know the dirt because we've been in the inside looking at the inside, so we know what's there.
But I wanted Shannon to hear, is that not the protocol? Come here, let's straighten this out. Okay.
That's what he's supposed to do.
That's exactly what he's supposed to do.
First of all, I would never have arrested anybody for trespassing on that circumstance. There was no trespassing. As soon as they allowed your husband in, that eliminates that trespassing. What are they going to do?
No, I'm going to need you as a witness, an expert witness. I forgot. I got another expert witness. I'm going to need you as an expert witness. And if we do it Zoom.
You can't do that. Common sense or anything. If your owner allows your husband in, but it denies you, and you have your medical condition, you can prove it, there's no way they can deny you.
I know. I've got it all going on, and they still want to push the charges so they can make an example out of me.
That's not going to happen. I'm not going to let them do that.
And what they're doing is the same face. They know they're wrong. They don't want to admit they're wrong, so they're doing a state-based. It's a political solution to a legal action that shouldn't have been in the first place.
Give me 1 second, everybody. Let's make another announcement. I'd like to make it. You're live with us now on Code Wind Talk. Code Wind Talk is the people's voice. It's also part of CV19 magazine. We are no longer part of Code Media Group because our beliefs are different and we do not share the same ideals that we do here. Sean and Dougie Fresh are the new first executive producers for the broadcast. I myself am the creator, but each and every one of us here, John will be first producer over Veteran Affairs. Shannon will also be over female issues and civil rights for women. She will be the first executive producer over that area. And as the creator and national chief advocate for civil rights, I will be that first executive producer. And Paul Prince will also be an executive producer with all of the technical stuff that puts us out there. Joe is also our law enforcement, and he'll be the executive producer of the law enforcement area as a contributor to questions about legalities of policing. Remember, all of our opinions here are not the opinion of the network, but our freedoms, our First Amendment, giving the opinions that America has. You know, my brother used to say opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Well, we're here to let you speak your voice in a manner or a challenge that you're facing in a very peaceable manner. You can be angry, you can be upset, you can be tearful, you can be joyful. However you want to express it. You could be black, white, green, purple, Puerto Rican, Italian, Chinese. If you got something that you'd like to express and you're being denied that First Amendment right and you're an American citizen here and you want to be on Code Wind Talk through Triple Vibe, our family sponsor with us who makes this broadcast. Ultimately, this is going to be all Code Wind Talk. Our sponsors, our producers, this is the family. We're a family. So I want you to understand, welcome to our family. If you have a story, we will here to support you any way, shape, or form to tell your story, like our veteran hero, Chris LaMarche, whose story was trying to be concealed, manipulated. He's being attacked as a disabled veteran by officers that did not follow protocol that will lead to the result of their dismissal for what they've done to this 36 commendated veteran serving the United States of America in the War of Terror, who was in fact caught in an explosion from a mortar, which he suffered TBI, and also had a heart attack, right, Chris? A heart failure from the results and the effects of service to country. And he's still keeping them there. And you heard the threatening letter here at Advocates for Disabled, as the national chief and CEO and founder since 1983. Behind me, you see these presidential letters and thank yous and support from justices. This is what we do as Americans. We defend the freedom. That's what our mission is. You are naturally born into the oath, if you're born here, that you will protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Our friends and our members here, like Shannon, like Chris, even Joe and John, and the people you didn't see yet, are being violated under the Americans with Disabilities Act, a constitutional right, a sovereign right. We will not let that happen. We will do everything to save you, prevent it, and intervene to the limits that the law allows us as advocates. We will be that voice for you. And if you have that story you want to share, if you are a disabled veteran and you are being neglected or you're getting suicidal, give us an opportunity to help you. You are loved, you are appreciated, and we are very grateful as the American people for the sacrifices that you make. I am very understanding of where you are. I'm very familiar with mental illness. I have a child with mental illness, and I know the challenges and the pressure as an advocate of 37 years, respected by 4 presidents and 3 justices. We're here to help you. So if you need us, our technical team, our executive producers from the technical side, Sean, Dougie, Paul. We're going to have it soon where you can call us and tune in, and we're getting that all ready because we are a new group. We've severed ourselves from Code Media Group because it doesn't share the values. They were coming against my very creation of what I brought here today. So all of us here today partnered up to fulfill our obligation as Americans and to give you a voice, a platform. And that's what we're doing here today as we continue in the show. And let us tell you about a book, because we've got to mention the book. Even though Shannon held it up, we got to go to lastgoodbye-book.com. I got it again. There it is. Shannon, I love you. You're great. There it is. That's John in the Vietnam War with his cousin. And if you want to know why there's an imagery that looks like why one's on the bed and one is standing there in uniform, you got to get the book to find out. We are in the midst of doing a screenplay and a trailer for The Last Goodbye. I'm going to be one of the directors and executive producers on it. We've already did a cure. John is the creator, the author. It's his story. And he was 19, and his cousin, who they grew up as brothers, Italian families from the Bronx, who gave his life and sacrificed for country. The ultimate sacrifice was blown up, and John brought him home, and only to bring the sad news to his aunts and uncles and cousins, and that Anthony is no longer with them in the ultimate sacrifice for the United States of America. And Chris and John was almost that person when he was assaulted by enemy fire. Chris was that person when assaulted by a bomb over there. And this is why we fight, and this is why you have this platform. But to know more about John and this book, The Last Goodbye, go to lastgoodbye-book.com. And if you want that signed, you send John a note, or you tell us here. And as soon as our technical things are worked out, you're going to be here, and we're going to hear from you live, and we're going to get this straight. And it's just a matter of getting our technical team, because we had a meeting we were part of a group that wasn't living up to their expectations that affected our things getting out to you timely. There it is. There it is. That's right. There it is, the Purple Heart. He's got that, and if you want that, and you want that book, you can call John, and you want that signature, you will get that. It was his honor to serve this country. And when we were talking to my cousin, and my cousin's a retired colonel, United States Marines, my nephew is currently serving. He's a lieutenant colonel. They both told me they would do it again. No matter what, they would do it again. For what we are as Americans and what we believe in the freedoms and the liberties of this country, it is very important that we understand that. That's why you are born, protect, and defend. That is your duty from the day you see daylight as a child born, when you are born here on American soil. There she is. She's such a good assistant. She made, right? Look at. That's back in the 60s, folks. That's 1967. And there he is, Johnny Pizza, with his big 50 caliber.
50.
His M60. He's ready to rock and roll. Look at him now. He's still like a monster. So, Captain or Major, we're coming for you. And we will get you. Now you've waged war on us. You've waged war on your own, and you have to answer. We will make you answer in a court of law for what you did to Christopher LaMarche and threatening his wife. It is unheard of that a military man would threaten a civilian, the wife of an honorable soldier. We don't take that lightly. Nobody in America takes that lightly. We've seen and heard of the abuses of women in the military getting raped by officers. Are you one of those guys? What's his name? Major, what's his name? What's his last name? Clark? Major Clark. Are you a rapist, Major Clark? Did you rape any of the women under your authority? Did you force yourself? Huh? Did you do that? Are you that kind of guy? Because you're lying about LaMarche, making like you don't know where he is, telling him to surrender himself. He's not lost. He's disabled. And it's your fault he's disabled. So let me make it clear. major at this moment, because when I'm done, you're going to be a private. If they still keep you, you deserve a dishonorable discharge, and it is my mission in life to do that. You should have helped this man through. He was a brother at arms. You should have made sure that he was discharged appropriately instead of dragging him on for 3 more years after he had a heart attack in service and a bomb explosion. That's what your duty was, but you didn't do your duty. So we are going to do our duty. So lastgoodbye-book.com.
There you go.
I was held captive in the moment of Chris LaMarche. There he is. Look at that. Look at that. What was that? The pinning? The pinning? That was the pinning. Look at it.
That's the pinning.
That's the pinning. Look at it. That's another thing. Chris LaMarche did not get his Purple Heart. We want his Purple Heart. We're not asking. We're not asking for it. I want you to be clear there, Major, Captain, whatever you call yourself. I call you Dirtbag, so let's use that name. That works for me. So listen up, Dirtbag. We want to know where his Purple Heart is. We want it. The people of the United States, on his behalf, are demanding it. His 36 commendations, his service to this great nation, has been proven true and blue to this country, and we want him to get his due, and we will fight until he has it. Let me make that clear to everyone listening. We will not rest until he has what he deserves. And these threats to his wife, they will stop. We have contacted Senator Langford again. Shiar, where are we with Langford? Please call that office again.
I will.
And
Call them again.
okay.
Was
And
Cynthia able to talk to them too?
Cynthia, did you hear from the senator's office?
She stepped out, but we haven't heard anything.
Okay, because it's only a couple of days last week when we got the letter. We called immediately, but Shiar is going to call them now and see what's going on, because it always comes down, no matter how many times I notify them, every issue with a congressional inquiry, they don't say senatorial inquiry, it all falls under congressional inquiry, even when a president, because it's laws, so it's congressional inquiry. Shiar will make that call now, and we will find out any updates, but it's always going to come back down to another signature signed affidavit from you, like we did last time. At my request, he contacted you. He needed to hear from you so he can intervene, because it's privacy rights, and he will do that. So we sent in everything and a copy of the letter, but again, like that, he's going to hear from you. So she's going to call him, get his assistant, and tell him who's calling. Shiar, advise him who it is again, so that they know it's the Republican candidate. So that way the staffers won't think it's okay. It's the congressional candidate from Southwest Florida calling on your constituent who can't reach you. Tell him it's the constituent that can't reach you, the veteran, the disabled veteran. The candidate for Congress wants your ear now, please. Keep the phone near me. So that's where we are. So now she's going to get that call, and we'll wait for an answer. Who's got some questions for us? Outside, we know where we are with Chris. We know what we got to do, and we're waiting. So who has some questions for Chris?
All right.
Shannon, speechless?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, you said that we've got them all taken care of.
Well,
so-
I mean, well, no,
Yeah.
we have our plan of strategy in place, but that doesn't mean.
Can you go over the plan of strategy one more time? I don't know. I think I might have missed it.
Well, Nikki is looking into. She asked for some. I don't understand all this military talk. What I know is civil rights. This military code letters for certain papers and files. They have protocols, and they call them by letters. The 2 letters or 3 letters, CDF file, this and that. So Nikki's been sending stuff, and her and Cynthia have been going back, because she's our great resource, because she worked in the human resources of the Army. So she's really up to speed. She did 16 years of service, and then was 3/4 or disabilityed out. And we're just waiting to some stuff. So we are having the congressional inquiry, and then we are talking with counsel, and then seeing the avenue we have to go to get him justice. And it may be a court action, and it may have to be brought out of New York, but he can, because he's in Oklahoma, I think it's best there because that's where he's residing. And then we could sue the other states for not taking no action. Virginia and the military branches, the branches of the officers in their official capacity.
Darren,
What?
does this major,
Yes.
is he aware of what's going on? Is he aware that he's going to be taking action against?
Over.
Mm.
Who is it?
Chris, he's saying, I'm having a bad day. I'm getting, it's harder for me to sit for a long time.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're gonna it's Chris's disabilities are the question here, and the disrespect that he's been denied. And I never like to keep him too long because you know, he uses devices to assist him, and we can go on and on. But if it's okay with all of you, Chris, and we'll continue this conversation so that he can go back and rest. As you can see, you know, there's the obvious, you know, he's getting weak, and as a soldier, he's trying to hold his own, but he's got some serious injuries, very serious injuries that the Army is not taking serious. Well, I shouldn't say the Army. I'm not going to blame everybody for what one major or captain is trying to do, manipulating his rank to deny civil protection. So we will address that. But Chris, I want to let Chris out, and then we're going to finish here, and then maybe Sean might pop in, and then we'll close the show. But Chris, I'm going to release you now so that you can get some rest, because we've had you on for over an hour, and I want you to get some rest, because I know that you're struggling with sitting there, because I know. We're gonna get back to you. Shiar is calling the senator. Remember, I can only go as an intermediary, because ultimately all signatures got to come from the individual. That's the way the law works. That's why I had to get permission on Shannon, but the judge allowed it. So if they allow it, I'll do it. I don't have a problem with doing it. I'll be there for everybody. So Chris, you can disconnect, and the crew will connect. My love to your wife and your family. Hang in there. We're fighting for you. Don't worry. I will not fail you. I will not. I will do my best. So help me God. My hand to God, and in my oath to this country to protect you against all enemies, foreign and this domestic asshole, Major. I will defend you against him. So help me God. So you are hereby released, Sergeant.
Thank you all. Thank you all for having me on today.
It's a pleasure. It's
Hi,
always a
Chris.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Sergeant.
Good to see you again.
Thank you
Good
for
to
your
see you,
service.
Take care.
Okay, guys.